although short form content will be the most preferred, that doesn't mean that you should only stick to posting short form content. And that doesn't mean you should stick to posting the same kind of short form content. So, which form of short form content should you focus on? Welcome to the Side Hustler Podcast, the podcast for women building their dreams while balancing work, family, and all the things. I'm your host, Carly LeBlanc, a wife, mom, marketer, and your side hustling friend here to teach you how to grow a brand that works for you and not the other way around. Whether you're a side hustling pro or just starting out, this is your safe place for real talk, actionable strategies, and the encouragement you need to keep going. We're here to help you make progress and not perfection. So grab your favorite drink, settle in, and let's build your dream one step at a time. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Side Hustler Podcast. I'm your host, Carly, and I am so excited to have you here today. Wherever you are tuning in from, I first off want to just start by saying happy New Year. Happy 2025. I know we're already on the second week of the year, but the internet has told me that I have until the middle of the month to say Happy New Year. So that is what I am going to do. Now, I first off want to apologize that I am a little bit delayed with uploading this week's episode because I have had all kinds of hurdles to even create or record my episodes. Even right now, I'm recording, but I have no video. So I want to apologize in advance if you are looking for video clips. I don't have it right now, but we're doing what we can to make it work. And so we're here. But on a lighter note, I hope you all had an amazing holiday season. Whether you decide to celebrate the holidays or not, I just hope that you took some time to rest and reflect, hang with your family, or even just lay out on the couch and do absolutely nothing like I did. Well, kind of. I do want to just go ahead and share my business. Not that anybody had asked me to, but I actually had an amazing holiday break. I took 3 weeks off. The first week I went on vacation with my husband for our wedding anniversary, and it was absolutely amazing. We took a trip to Mexico for Christmas, or right before Christmas per se, for a couple of days. And then I came back and I hopped into preparing to host for Christmas with my family. I was responsible for doing most of the cooking. I live in Houston, if you don't know, and most of my family and my husband's family is from Texas and Louisiana. So you already know. If you are responsible for cooking, then that means you know a little something about what to do in the kitchen, honey. Okay. Also, I want to apologize that if I sound a little bit hoarse, I am coming over some kind of cold flu. I don't know what it was, but it was something. I was down for about a week in the trenches. So I'm just now getting my voice back, which is another reason why I was late with last week's episode, but that's neither here nor there. But back to what I was saying. If you are in the kitchen for the holidays, then that means that you know a little something about being in the kitchen. Now, I was responsible for the most important item on the menu, honey, and that was the gumbo. And I love this because it shows my family that I can be trusted, okay? I have been the gumbo representative for at least the past 3 years, and that is because I do not use pre-made ingredients, okay? Everything in my gumbo comes from scratch, including my roux. But this Christmas was great. It was nice catching up with my family. We got to watch the Beyonce Bowl and really just enjoy one another. We did a little line dancing, playing some games. It was great. And honestly, for the remaining of the holidays, I just laid out on my couch. I told y'all I was sick, so I was on the couch binge watching all the things that I needed to catch up on, the low budget movies on Tubi and my Nollywood movies. I absolutely love Nollywood movies, by the way. But needless to say, the holiday break did me so well. And thanks for asking, okay? But now that the holidays are behind us, everyone is in this place of new energy, new vision, new goals, new year, who dis, which is why I am super excited about today's episode because today we're diving into our 2025 social media predictions. Now that 2024 is behind us, it's time for us to focus on and scale in on the things that are now ahead of us rather than what's behind us, okay? Whether you're a seasoned content creator or you're an influencer or entrepreneur or you're just now deciding to start your side hustle, staying ahead of the curve with the social media trends can make all of the difference. And so, in today's episode, we are going to break down what's on the horizon and how you can leverage these changes to grow your brand in this new year. Before we dive into today's episode, I wanted to let you know all about my free guide that will help you thrive online. If planning social media content ever feels overwhelming for you, or you just never know what to post, you will definitely want to download my free guide called The 30 Days of Done For You Social Media Prompts for Personal Brands. It's packed with ideas to help you stay consistent and stress-free. And you can grab it at cdcreativecodeagency.com/content and take the guesswork out of your content creation today. Okay, so let's dive into our first prediction for 2025, which will be the rise of video content. Now, in 2024, we saw a huge evolution with the major shift towards short form content in highly engaging formats on all social media platforms like Instagram, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Facebook Reels, and even LinkedIn, which made short form content the most dominant form of online content consumption across all social media platforms. In fact, according to Adobe, video content is the best ways, or one of the best ways, to create impactful marketing campaigns that increases customer engagement and retention, which explains why now on your Instagram feed, which is primarily a mixture of photos and videos, now we see more reels on the feed than photos. However, in 2025, we can still see that short form content will be dominating as the preferred online consumption tool, which is great for people who are trying to find their way with the shorts and want to experiment and see what sticks. However, although short form content will be the most preferred, that doesn't mean that you should only stick to posting short form content. And that doesn't mean you should stick to posting the same kind of short form content. So, which form of short form content should you focus on? 25, we can still see that short form content will be dominating as the preferred online consumption, whichever feels natural to you. I say this all the time to my clients, and I will say it here. You should never have to go out of your way to create content because your content as a personal brand should be the way that you currently live your life. And if you're finding yourself always having to go out of your way to create content, it's not that I don't think you'll be successful at doing it, but I do think that you will have a hard time staying consistent with it, especially when things become busy in your personal life. Now, really briefly, I want to touch on the topic of TikTok. While TikTok is not my main platform of choice, I do believe the discussion on whether it will get banned or not is something that we should prepare for and take it as a lesson learned. So, if TikTok is your main platform of choice, I would consider other platforms to start to migrate your content onto these platforms. However, the lesson learned here is that all of these social media platforms we do not own, which is why it is important for you as a brand to have your own turf to build on, such as an email list. So many creators have invested so much time in creating content for TikTok just for their audience to potentially be gone instantly. So if I were you, I would figure out a valuable resource to provide to my audience now and encourage them to grab it for free in exchange for their email address. That way, you can still have a way to connect with them should or if TikTok gets banned. I also want to add that while short form content might be the most dominant online content preference, it is not the only one. And I will also add my caveat to this that you should always look into planting your long form content somewhere as well, especially if you plan on thriving as a personal brand. Like I said before, short form content is a great way for you to start sharing highlights and value in short bursts of time. But in order for you to be able to convert with sales, if that is your goal, you should really consider either starting a podcast or a YouTube channel to offer value to your ideal clients for free in a long form content format. Having long form content will essentially be the home base for your brand where potential customers can build a know, like, and trust factor before they decide to invest in a program, a course, or a signature offer that you plan to sell in the future. Some other things to be on the lookout for in 2025 are platforms pushing users towards live video content and AI generated video tools to make content creation easier, which I am both extremely excited about. I'm not gonna lie. Live video content can help you gain more traction to build more authenticity, but also to showcase your personality to potential customers and potential followers, especially because sometimes you can't really gauge someone's personality through short form content because it's short form content. I'm also extremely excited about the AI generated video tools because AI has been a lifesaver for me and a time saver in my business. So having AI to help me with video editing or even adding like creative elements to my videos can be such a game changer, at least for me. So here's my suggestion for dominating in the video content, especially for short form content category. Experiment with all formats. I want you to try B-rolls with overlaid text. Try voiceovers with a compilation of clips of you doing something that your audience can relate to or something that is shareable. Try even shooting random talking heads in your car or while you're getting dressed. And create a free resource to provide to your audience, like a guide, a checklist, a free list of products, or whatever they can find valuable, and give it to them for free in exchange for their email address. Either way, I want you to try all of these things and have fun with it. Make sure you don't limit yourself and you don't let the numbers discourage you. Also, start by brainstorming what ways you can show up online as it pertains to long form content and maybe jot it down as a goal to work towards once you become consistent with your short form content. Okay, so our second 2025 social media prediction is the growth of niche communities. Ooh, this is good. So there's no secret that people who tend to thrive online really well are people who have created a sense of community over a particular topic. However, in 2025, you will see a lot of brands and businesses focus on catering to these people in particular instead of catering to the masses, which means more exclusivity for people that are part of these communities. So, what does this mean for you? If you are starting a brand or in the process of building a brand, you want to focus on niching down on something that is relatable to people. And that could be things that people enjoy, like people who enjoy Legos, or fashion for plus size women, or single mom life, or women who enjoy handwriting and planning, or whatever resonates with you. Whatever industry or niche you decide to focus on, you want to make sure you focus on speaking to those people and providing value to them specifically. Help them with their lives and share things that you think they may enjoy. Now, this doesn't mean that you can't share all the other things that aren't related to your topic, but I want you to focus on either a 60-40 split or a 70-30 split, with the majority leaning towards the niche idea and the 30 to 40% being the random things that have nothing to do with your niche idea. While we are also talking about niches, I also want you to be aware that a niche could be anything. So you don't have to feel like you have to put yourself in a box because the traditional niches that you see everyone else do. Because the more niche you are, the more exclusive your community can and will be. This will help you out in the future if you're interested in partnering with brands, because you essentially could become the go-to person for that brand simply because you are one of a kind and have a community full of people that are just like you. For example, and forgive me if I'm mispronouncing your name incorrectly, but Gloria George, she is a creator on TikTok and Instagram that focuses on makeup inclusivity for dark-skinned girls. And her community is 2 million deep. There's also another creator named Sincerely Sadie, who is also a creator on majority Instagram, but I think she also has TikTok. And she focuses on creating content about being a single mom of two. So what does this mean for you? Now is the time for you to find your niche. We all have a unique perspective on life based on our experiences and what we do for a living, and even the things that we like. So, spend some time doing a personal reflection on some potential ideas that you can brand yourself with and focus on that thing. Once you find that sweet spot, that will most likely be the area where you can thrive and actually build a community that will absolutely love and adore you. Alrighty. So we're moving on to number three, which is, I would say, my favorite. And I know I probably already said that some of them are my favorites, but this is one of my favorites. And this is enhanced AI and automations. Now, I am a huge fan of AI because I can truly say that AI is one of the things that has helped me become more efficient in all aspects of my life. I mean, I use ChatGPT for literally everything, okay? If I need a new devotional, if I'm stuck on interpreting a scripture or a phrase, if I need help trying to understand my husband, if I wake up with random bumps on my finger, if I need advice on how to navigate a situation, if I need a packing list, a Christmas list, a grocery list, and the list goes on and on and on. However, I am extremely excited to see how AI will now be integrated into social networks to make automations more easy because this, my friend, is top tier. One AI prediction is that social media platforms will now integrate more AI driven features like smart scheduling and trend analysis, which makes sense because we recently have seen Instagram roll out this new feature with the trial reels to test a reel before posting to see how it will perform before you actually decided to post to your feed. Also, we have seen Instagram fix a lot of their bugs with their scheduling tool because before there were a lot of glitches, but now it seems to be working a lot better. But we will see a rise in chatbots and automated DMs to enhance customer interactions online, which could possibly mean that there's no more ManyChat integrations, which I'm interested in seeing. I'm not quite sure, but it would be nice to be able to get rid of an additional subscription and also be able to manage all of your automations within the actual app. We will also see predictive analytics, which will help creators better understand their audience preferences, which is top tier because this will basically help you identify your audience on a much deeper level and be able to understand what kind of content to create and what they really want and need. So, if you haven't already, I would start to get used to seeing and using AI. My favorite platform, like I mentioned already, is ChatGPT, mostly because it was the first one that I used and I just stayed loyal to it. But there are many other AI systems out there. But I say all this to say, don't be scared to tap into AI. I know many people are under the impression that AI is bad and they're here to steal jobs, but someone wise said, and I don't remember who it is, so don't quote me, AI will not steal your job, but someone who knows how to use AI will. The moment you start embracing AI and leveraging it to work smarter and not harder, the easier it will be to manage your job and your brand. So start using AI already as your assistant because the better you become with AI, the easier it will be to become efficient and to make most of your time. Okay, projection number four. Now, this may not come to you by surprise, but in 2025, there will be an emphasis on authenticity and transparency. We all know that social media is a place where a lot of people only share the best parts of their lives. And while it's totally up to the creator to determine what they will share with their audience, I believe that there will be a shift towards people who are more vulnerable and share their journeys on where they are desiring to go. Why is this? Because people love a good story. They love to feel inspired. They love to be able to see themselves in the person that they're watching. And so, while I'm not telling you to prop your big camera and capture the most ugliest moments of your lives or your private moments, I am encouraging you to document your journey because it's something about people being able to see themselves in you that may push them to get started or even push them to not give up. You just never know. So in 2025, you'll see audience gravitate towards unfiltered, relatable content over the overly polished posts, meaning that although the super polished photos and reels look great, if you're wanting them to convert, into an end goal, like a follow or a sell, you should show more unfiltered content. Now, stories will remain a go to format for casual behind the scene insights, giving you the chance to connect with your audience on a more personal level throughout the day. And this is because stories are seen by those who are truly a part of your community. These are the ones who love your content and actively engage with it. These are the highly engaged followers who are the biggest supporters of your community and are more likely to convert when you launch something new. Plus, Instagram strategically shows your stories to this audience, helping you to build the know, like, and trust factor with them. So, if you haven't already, make sure that you're showing up in your stories as much as possible. Even create a story strategy. Maybe you show up in your stories 2 to 3 times a day, or even if you can't vow to do it every single day, maybe say, okay, I'm going to show up in my stories 3 to 4 times a week. But share some behind the scenes on some things that you're working on with your most valuable followers, your MVPs, and interact with them and show them that you are an actual human being and not just someone on the internet who is cold and dry and boring. Also, don't be afraid to break the aesthetics and just post something that shows transparency. Don't let the aesthetics hold you back from being able to connect with your audience and be real with them. Okay. So this brings us to our last prediction of 2025, and that is UGC and the evolution of paid advertising. In 2025, we will see an evolution of paid advertising, but not just traditional ads. It'll be ads that are created by your favorite creators that aren't scripted or highly produced, but more engaging and authentic with more storytelling components. Now, I know you're probably thinking, okay, like, why is this important to me? Well, this is a great opportunity for content creators or even personal brands that are wanting to partner with brands, because this could possibly mean making more money by charging brands for usage rights to run ads on your content. This is also a great opportunity for micro influencers, because while the big time influencers will charge an arm and a leg to create content and additional for usage rights, micro influencers will become the go-to option for brands because of their flexible budget and closely niche communities. That takes us back to our point before with the niche communities. So this is even better for UGC creators, because as a UGC creator, you will not have to focus on providing analytics to brands. So brands won't be concerned with how many followers or what your engagement rate or how many likes you get on your content, because they more so just want to focus on getting your content that you created and being able to post it on their page, but not only post it, but also run an ad using that same piece of content. Now, this is a plus for both parties because, one, the brand doesn't have to worry about creating the content. The content that you've created shows a real human using their product or using their service, which is obviously what the customer wants to see when they land on the brand's page. But then this is a plus for you, because instead of you having to send over analytics, having to show a brand how many followers or engagement that you have on a piece of content, you can essentially pitch your content to the brand and allow the brand to use it and pay you to use your content. Now, I will have to say in 2024, we have already seen the rise of paid ads on Instagram and Facebook, but I do believe that brands are now realizing that if they want to get the attention of their future or potential customer, they will have to use their favorite niche creator to get the job done. So what would I do to take advantage of this opportunity in 2025? Well, in addition to becoming a niche specific brand, I would also start pitching myself to brands that align with that niche and focus on the value that I can provide that brand. So essentially what I mean is, you want to find the holes in that brand's content strategy and offer yourself as a solution to close the gap. And just to dive a little deeper, if you notice a brand that doesn't have reels, you could essentially offer to create reels for them, because we know that reels are the most preferred piece of content. If you see a brand that doesn't showcase real people in real time trying their product, then you can offer yourself as a person that could do so. If you see a brand that doesn't have diversity on their page, Offer to help them to diversify their audience. Either way, you want to find gaps in their current content strategy and offer yourself as an obvious solution and make your solution so good to the point they won't even have to lift a finger. Make your pitch an easy yes. Okay. And also, I want to add, when you are pitching yourself to brands, you want to make sure that the brand is in alignment to your current brand. So if you are a mom influencer, you want to make sure that you are pitching yourself to brands that align with motherhood. You don't want to find yourself in this place where you are marketing yourself as a motherhood influencer, but then you are trying to pitch to brands that have nothing to do with motherhood. So make sure that the brand that you have is also incongruent with the brand that you are pitching to. All right. That is it for today's episode. Thank you so much for tuning into the Side Hustler podcast. If you found this episode helpful, I'd love if you shared it with a friend or left a review. And if you want to keep this conversation going on Instagram, you can follow me at Carly Dorlin. Until next time, keep hustling, sis. You got this. Bye. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the Side Hustler podcast. I hope you're leaving here today feeling inspired and ready to take your next step. If you love this episode, I'd love for you to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with another side hustler who needs to hear it. And don't forget to connect with us on Instagram at Carly Dorlin. I'd love to hear about your side hustling journey. Remember, you're doing better than you think, and your dreams are so worth it. Until next time, keep hustling, sis. You got this.